everyone, and welcome to Talking with Our Traders, a Caesars Sportsbook original series. This is where we sit down with our very own Caesars Sportsbook traders and dive deep into everything odds, bettings, trend, insights, and overall opinion. So let's dive right in. I'm your host, Cindy Edwards, and with me today, as always, is Craig Mucklow, Vice President of Trading here at Caesars Sportsbook.
Hello there.
And Joey Fiesel, Head of Football here at Caesars.
Hello.
Okay, guys, quickly, I'd love to get your thoughts on the college football national championship results. Buckeyes got their first national championship in 10 years. What are your reactions to the game?
Look, Ohio State got it done. They were clutch when they needed to be, right? They played 4 great games to secure the national championship. You know, they were able to get the conversions they needed down the line, just did everything enough, ran the ball efficiently, made the passes that they needed to be made. Hat tip to Ryan Day because everybody was hating him going into these playoffs, silencing the doubters, and really bouncing back from that Michigan loss, which Ohio State hates to happen. So hat tip to Ryan Day and getting it done, and I think he's secured a couple more years at least.
The better team won.
Yeah.
I did feel that off the opening drive of Notre Dame, and it just ate up all that clock.
Yeah, that was a great drive.
This is great for our under, but also brilliant game plan. The problem was the defense couldn't stop Ohio State's offense, and then you're out of your game plan straight away. Crazy decision to try and kick the field goal when you're down 16, which I didn't understand.
Two-score game.
At least it was semi-close for 3 quarters.
Right.
Because most of the college football playoffs were unwatchable, unfortunately. But credit to Ryan Day, I said he'd probably get fired. So this will be the apology to most of these questions.
All right, guys. Will Ohio State repeat?
They're going to be in the mix, I think that's for sure. When we get to playoff time, they just have too much talent. And certainly the portal's not going to close for either people leaving or people coming in. We saw the success they did have getting in Judkins, getting in Will Howard, getting Chip Kelly as an offensive coordinator. So Ohio State's not going away. I can't say they're going to repeat, but they're favorites for this reason going the season.
Yeah, I was surprised when I saw they were a favorite. The NIL era will make that not happen.
Yeah.
I can't see it. It's just too tough. And it's odd how all the high seeds all got eliminated. Mm-hmm. They'll be better prepared next year.
Yeah.
Right.
They'll look into like kind of how they're going to restructure. I'm sure everybody complains, people listen.
They never even made the conference championship game.
Yeah, they didn't. And I guess they didn't have to, and maybe that was part of the mix. You know, you get an extra week of bye. I don't know exactly what they were thinking, but I think in years previous, you saw Alabama, they'd win, then they'd be favorites again next year. And that was because there wasn't this transfer portal stuff. There wasn't this. They still have that base team. They still have that advantage in recruiting. Now that's out the window because players are going to get paid here and there. So it's a little more balanced at the top. Poor Nevada is never really going to be in the mix, but they never were going to be, I guess.
Right. Any early sleepers to win the national championship next season?
I like Michigan, 22-1. They showed really a lot of grit in the last part of the season. What they're missing is a quarterback. They have that quarterback, true freshman coming in that hopefully can play that role. I think they did a good job at the end of the season transitioning out of that Harbaugh era and into the new coach era. So I think they're certainly going to be in the mix in this next season. A couple of the ones I'm looking that have like a really young quarterback, really good. South Carolina, Lenore Sellers, really good. Florida, DJ Lagway. Those 2 teams will probably make an improvement in that middle tier of the SEC, which we all know they're going to be in the mix if they get a decent record towards the end of the year. So those are my 3 sleepers going into the year.
I went with 2 big names with money. Michigan, who just historically always compete, so why would you not, especially at the price? And I had LSU on the list as well.
Ooh. All right. Well,
I know where you got
that
one.
Actually, I came up with that.
Oh,
myself.
There's a couple other traders.
People that are backing.
Big LSU guys,
Yeah. All right. Well, before we dive into championship weekend, let's quickly recap the divisional round. We saw the Chiefs beat the Texans. The Commanders shockingly defeat the Lions, which, Craig, you called last week. The Eagles outlasted Joey's Rams, and the Buffalo Bills overcame the Baltimore Ravens. What an insane weekend.
Yeah, crazy.
But what was the biggest factor to the Lions being eliminated?
Well, don't turn the ball over 5 times. That certainly doesn't help.
Turnovers, yes.
And it's really just their defense was the factor. You know, we saw this all year long, later part of the year, meaning a lot of reason why I was hating on the Lions was just their defense was not up to par. And you have to play perfect offense if you're going to do that. And if you do 5 turnovers, game's owned the other way.
Turnovers, discipline, defensive injuries, and you are now the crown of America's team, and that's why I picked them.
There you go.
I mean, it's going to be harder for the Lions now as well going forward. But you can't turn the ball over that many times. The trick plays didn't work. You've turned the ball over on a trick play, and you're chasing the game.
Yeah.
And credit to Washington, they took it to Detroit, and they played a hell of a game. And they were still in it until the end, but the discipline got them when they had 12 men on the field on the 4th and 2.
Yep,
Yeah, that was
hurts.
bad.
Yeah.
All right.
Chiefs don't do that.
Right. Let's go to the other division. What was the biggest factor to the Ravens being eliminated?
Get turnovers and Mark Andrews. I mean, Mark Andrews,
Poor guy.
Every poor guy gets blown up, but it happens. I mean, it's you want to have those clutch moments, but there's a lot on the line, and everybody makes mistakes. And yeah, playoff Lamar snuck his head out once again, made too many mistakes they couldn't come back from.
Just 2 mistakes. Too many.
Too many.
Too many, but just 2.
One is too many in a playoff game.
Yeah.
Just careless with the ball, like holding it out. I asked somebody because obviously I never played football as a kid.
Right.
Nobody teaches tackling anymore. All they do is go to punch the ball out or these flying tackles, just to try and dislodge them. You can't be careless with the ball. You're probably one of your most surest hand receivers. Turn the ball over, cost them 7 points. Didn't catch the easy 2, cost them an extra 2 points and overtime. But shout out to Bills Mafia. They raised over $38,000 for Mark Andrews' diabetes charity.
They do always do that. They are so classy.
As much as I hate the Bills, that fan base always does a classy move after. So fair play to them.
So likable.
It's like they're winking.
It's
though,
like you're trying to buy a Super Bowl.
like, oh, we're helping you, but it's also you lost the game. Yeah.
Do you think if that game was played in Baltimore, it would be a different outcome given the weather?
The weather would have been bad in Baltimore, but you've still got to be. The ball doesn't change. You still have to be careful with the ball, whatever stadium you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really comes down to mistakes, and that's really what are losing these playoff games. We saw with the Rams too. The Rams, I mean, that was probably weather-induced, the West Coast team going over, but they lost the ball how many times and, gave that game to the Eagles. So.
Had chances at the end.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, since there are only 2 games left until the Super Bowl, we're going to change up our anytime touchdown parlay.
Because we finally hit a winner.
Well, almost.
No, Joey hit one.
Joey did hit one. Yeah. Okay. So this is the new rule. Each person, myself, Craig, and Joey, will pick a player to score an anytime touchdown. We're going to parlay that, and if you like it at home, you can tail it on the Caesars Sportsbook app. So who would like to start, guys?
Well, Joey picked his 3 touchdown scores last week. True story. That paid so little that the Sportsbook wouldn't put it on the app.
It's so sharp.
It is true.
Don't get me started on the conspiracies. This one that I have is going to actually have a higher payout than what my 3-team touchdown would be. So that I'm going Dallas Goedert. I think he's going to attack the secondary. I think it was plus 310 last time I saw on the app. So I think, that's going to be the play here of really attacking that Commanders secondary, which they're going to want to do. Commanders are going to sell out for Saquon just like the Rams did. Is it going to have success? Probably not. Saquon is a beast, but can't add Saquon on this. I'm going to go Dallas Goedert in the end zone.
All right. For our second leg, I am going to go Noah Gray because all eyes are going to be on Travis Kelce, and Noah Gray really is the better tight end of the 2.
Ooh, words.
Meow.
Meow. Mic drop. Should I say for this season, he's the better tight end this season?
We'll get to that later.
All right.
And to make this an 80-1 shot, DeAndre Hopkins for the Chiefs, I think plus 325 is just too big a number.
Yeah.
I like it. All right. And if you guys like this at home, you can trail it on the Caesars Sportsbook app. Guys, let's move on to Super Bowl predictions.
Okay.
I want to hear from each of you your Super Bowl matchup prediction, your Super Bowl winner, and your Super Bowl MVP. Joey, would you like to start us off?
So I'm going to go back to what we talked a couple weeks ago, going Bills-Eagles. It's still alive, still a possibility. Who we've been talking about all year long? The Eagles. Eagles win the Super Bowl. Who's going to win the MVP? It's none other than Saquon Barkley. There's no way. He's Captain America right now. That guy can't be stopped. He's playing his best ball, his best season. There's my predictions.
He deserves it. Craig?
I agree, Bills, Eagles. Ooh. We both agreed on the Eagles at the start of the season. I'm a year too late with my Bills pick. We took them, mid-season at 40s?
Yeah.
So I'm going to stick with the Eagles as the winner. Why not? 33 quarterbacks have won the MVP award, 9 wide receivers, 4 running backs. It's an exclusive group. It's tough to find value on those positions because we know that those are the positions that always win. So I can't go chalk. I refuse to. It's against my religion. A.J. Brown at a huge price, 28 to 1.
All right.
Oh, all right. I fear I'm going to jinx us, but I also have Bills, Eagles. The winner, though, is going to be the Buffalo Bills, and Josh Allen will be MVP. You want to know why? Because Lamar is going to steal that regular season MVP from him, and Josh will have to get Super Bowl MVP. So that is what I'm thinking.
It's not a bad play. I don't hate it.
We'll see.
Bills Mafia ran out of charity money.
Never.
Finally bought a Super Bowl.
Okay, ready for some overreaction or nots?
Mm-hmm.
Overreaction or not, Matthew Stafford will retire.
Overreaction. I know he's contemplating it, but there gets a point in a lot of these kind of older quarterbacks, you have your time off, you're getting healthy, and then you're remembering how you lost that final game. And I'm not hanging these cleats up, especially with how well the Rams defense played in the second half of the year, and they're all young. It's a very young, strong unit. Defensive coordinator's not going anywhere. You have a chance to build upon next year. We saw the Niners are down, even though we looked at their schedule next year. It's ridiculously easy. But I do not think he hangs up the cleats, just based on that one playoff loss where they very well could have won.
Right.
I completely agree with your logic, but it's not an overreaction. 16 seasons in the league. He's got a ring. He's got enough money in the bank. Matthew Stafford's most important stat right now is 4 daughters. You've been 16 years on the road. Mm-hmm. I think his oldest is 7. So you've got a 6-year window before she stops talking to you until she wants. The only time she'll talk to you is when she wants something. I know from experience. Spend time with your family. You've earned it.
Yeah. It's hard for them to do it.
Yeah.
But it's
might
hard
go
to
the
give
Tom
up.
Brady route. Overreaction or not, Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback left in the playoffs. He currently leads postseason in yards, touchdowns, completion percentage.
Overreaction. He certainly performed probably the best this playoffs, but is he the best quarterback left in the playoffs? No. He took on the 29th and the 30th ranked pass defenses in the last couple weeks. He has the best stats, but he is not even close to Mahomes or Allen. Give him a couple years to develop, maybe we'll talk, but right now, no way, Jose.
Yeah, I'm not even bothering answering this.
Okay,
He's not even the third best quarterback.
To be fair, I knew you both were going to outright say overreaction, so how about Jaden Daniels is having the best rookie quarterback season of all time?
Yeah, I don't think that's an overreaction. I think statistically he's having, rookie quarterbacks generally do not have success. It's not something that we're accustomed to. Peyton Manning still holds the record for the most interceptions thrown in a rookie season. So is he the best rookie to have the most success? Statistically, probably, but now you have to carry the torch. We saw with Stroud this year, he took a little bit of a downswing, wasn't the same as his rookie year. So you have to build upon this success. And again, Peyton Manning, how many people were saying, oh, this guy's he's thrown however many interceptions? It's about how you grow and how you get past that, how you reinvent yourself, how do you continue to grow and be that better quarterback, which he has a possibility to do, but I need to see more in order to call him a great.
All right, well, now let's ask the hater, because I see you shaking your head over there, Craig. Please give us your thoughts.
First of all, another apology. I dogged on him winning the Heisman and ran up the stats. He's proved me completely wrong.
Completely.
But still, huge overreaction. I mean, he didn't even win his division. What are they, the 7th seed?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Flacco and Roethlisberger both made the conference championship, so he hasn't eclipsed them. He's just equaled them. C.J. Stroud, Robert Griffin III all won their divisions in their first year. Dan Marino got the 2 seed and only started 9 games and won 7 of them.
Yeah, how many games was he playing?
Changed the position of the quarterback role forever.
It's true.
Right.
So no,
not even close. No.
All right.
Just insulting me with that question.
He did set the NFL rookie record for rushing yards by a quarterback and completion percentage.
Because they were all little 2-yard passes. He took the Tom Brady playbook.
All right. Overreaction or not, the Lions peaked.
It's not an overreaction. I mean, you lost Ben Johnson, who has been the most sought-after head coach that everybody was drooling over, even, starting when these teams are tanking in November. And then you lose Aaron Glenn this morning to the Jets. So you're losing both coordinators that really built upon that success. And that's not even discussing the cap issues they're going to have in the offseason. They may have reached, if we look at the past 2.5 years, their 5-year peak. This might be it. They're going to go down? Certainly. They're just going to have to go down a little bit. Will they be able to – is Dan Campbell good enough to build them back up? Probably. But for right now, for the last 5 years or 2 years going forward, 3 years going back, this is their peak, I think.
Overreaction. Only one team ever reaches their goal, which is to win the Super Bowl every year. Now you've lost your 2 coordinators, which you knew anyway you were going to lose.
Yeah.
You had a chance, but yes, there's an excuse. You got ravaged by injuries, but you should win your home game after a bye, and you didn't. And it just shows probably some lack of experience. I mean, didn't they have a big lead on the 49ers in the championship game last year?
Yeah, huge.
So maybe the question's a bit deeper, but no, I think they've picked.
Do you think they need a different quarterback?
Well, he's getting older.
And we're going to see, because the interesting part is we look at Jared Goff's career. He played for one of the 2 of the best offensive minds in the football right now, Sean McVay, Ben Johnson. Me and Eric, we're looking through of who are they going to pick. We think that their passing game quarterback is who they're going to elevate to their offensive coordinator, because Dan Campbell seems like it's a next man up kind of sort of things.
Right.
So we'll see if he can replicate that success, because now it's on Jared Goff to perform. If you don't have that really good offensive coordinator, we're going to find out, is it Jared Goff? Is it the coordinator?
Your running game's fine.
Yeah.
Your defense will get healthy. Maybe the question is quarterback, but we'll see.
We will see. Overreaction or not, the Eagles need more from their passing game to beat Washington.
Overreaction. Saquon can run for 1 billion yards, just like he did against the Rams. And this Washington, the positive about that is not their defense. So Eagles can call game. There's a question of Hurts. Is he injured? That knee injury did look pretty bad, and we didn't get to see anything after that, so it's kind of on the table. I don't think it matters. I don't think anybody can stop Saquon at this point.
The Eagles got 14 wins by averaging 187 yards per game passing. Washington only averaged 215 yards passing per game, and you're crowning him as the greatest of all time. That's 3 completions different. No, you stick with your strength, which is a great running game. Your quarterback's mobile as well. It sets up play action. Yeah, they don't need to. All
right. Overreaction or not, Travis Kelce is the greatest tight end of all time.
It's overreaction. There's so many other ways. I mean, we can go probably Gronk, Antonio Gates. Who you got, Craig? Let's
not
hear it.
Gronk.
Gronk? I know you can't say Gronk.
You said not Gronk?
No way.
All right. Okay.
Let's let
who you got?
Craig cook.
First of all, I'm old enough to remember when the tight end position was actually tight end and not glorified wide receivers now.
Gronk.
Because it has changed, because now tight ends look for...
Let's be real.
Blocked what?
Oh my God, Craig, stop.
First of all, Kelce has Mahomes throwing the ball to him. Gronk had Tom Brady throwing the ball to him. Gronk has half the yardage of Gonzalez, who's probably arguably the number 1.
Yeah, Tony is.
Fourth in touchdowns. Had Tom Brady. It's not Gronk. Gronk's not even top 10. Ozzie Newsome, not just his play on the field, but also won Super Bowls and built a franchise in the Ravens. Jason Witten, tremendous tight end. Mike Ditka, who also has probably arguably top 3 greatest teams of all time, the 85 Bears. Shannon Sharp, Antonio Gates, and Tony Gonzalez is number 1. Gronk's not top 10.
Oh my God. Get out of here.
Well, you can only remember the last few years because you're old enough.
That's true, but I feel like that's fair also. The game's changed a lot. Okay, so where's Kelce in that? Do you have Kelce over Gronk or behind Gronk?
Over, statistically, yes.
No.
Is Kelce the greatest currently active tight end? Yes, but he benefits from having one of the greatest quarterbacks that ever played the game. So did Gronk.
Watch out for Brock Bowers.
True, we do have to watch out. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Travis Kelce could win 100 Super Bowls. He would not even be close to Gronk. Gronk has more touchdowns, more yards per catch, more rings, and he's played 16 less games than Kelce. So in my mind, it's not even a comparison. But for anyone who disagrees, just do me a favor and go look up both of their career highlights and then come talk to me. It's not even comparable.
Did Gronk win 3 straight Super Bowls?
Well, Kelce didn't either, and we'll get to that. But for now, let's move on to our NFC Championship preview. We have Washington Commanders versus the Philadelphia Eagles. First NFC Championship game for Washington since 1991. What are your guys' thoughts here?
I was 18.
Yeah, it's fun to see an NFC East kind of conference championship game.
Yeah.
We'd love to see the Rams in here, kind of, sort of. I still like the Eagles to win the Super Bowl. But no, hat tip to Jaden Daniels for getting this far. Again, he probably had the benefit of really bad pass defenses getting up to that, but that's not the case. It's one game to the Super Bowl. And, I think the real hat tip is going to Dan Quinn, Cliff Kingsbury, kind of turning this franchise around, which really had bad culture in years previous, and now he's changed that. So really good for the Commanders to getting to this spot, regardless if it was an easier path. We can argue that another day. But line opened up 4.5. I think that was really aligned with Jalen Hurts' questions. Like, is he going to be good for the game? Is he not going to be good for the game? As we've seen more positive come out, it's now up to 6. Total's been at 47.5, and it stays there. It'll be kind of interesting to see either weather in this game. I'm sure Craig's going to fill us in on that shortly. But, yeah, it should be a great NFC Championship game.
Yeah, Craig, what are we looking at for weather?
10-mile-an-hour winds, 35 degrees. It feels like 27.
Ooh.
Cold. NFC teams in the championship game last 10 years, the home team is 8-2 straight up. Philly dominated both of these matchups. The only reason it's 1-1 is because Hurts got injured and Daniels had to perform miracles again at the end of the game. I feel the Eagles cover this 6 with ease. Washington just come off playing Detroit. Only 5 teams won the week after playing Detroit. We saw how bad the Vikings were the week after playing Detroit when they played the Rams.
Oh, the Detroit curse. I forgot about it.
The teams coming off playing Detroit averaged 18 points per game with a losing margin victory of 18. Take out the 5 wins because there was a couple of 30-point wins. These teams are only mustering 13 points per game.
All right. Well,
I like Philly big time.
You like Philly? Okay. I think you both like Philly, but I'd love to break the game down a little bit further than that. Who do you guys like for a first touchdown scorer?
I like Jaden Daniels to get out the gate, score early. This is an in-play nightmare, but I think that's what's going to happen. I think Jaden Daniels is going to push down the field. They're going to have if they win the toss, they're going to have a great kind of scripted first drive that'll, I think, get Jaden in the end zone to kind of start him out, and then I think they'll melt down. But
Hurts and Barkley have scored 5 times. First touchdown for the Eagles this year each, but they're plus 525, plus 285. Can't touch that. 7 of Washington's opening touchdowns were by Brian Robinson. He's an 8-1 shot. I'm going the nightmare in play angle again. Washington take the lead, and it's problematic. So give me Brian Robinson at 8.
All right. Favorite player prop for this game?
Like Austin Eckler over receiving yards. I think they're going to have a lot of pressure and a lot of good coverage downfield, and it's going to only let Jaden check down to Austin Eckler. And I think he's going to have a couple screen passes, get him over that total.
Same team. I've got Daniels to throw over half a pick, minus 150.
Okay.
I think they'll be chasing the game late.
All right. Craig, we already know, or actually, we don't. Over, under?
You don't know which way I'm going.
I wanted to say under because you love an under, but this game is tough. I feel like it could easily soar over.
3 of their last 5 games all scored in the 60s.
Yeah.
Given the Detroit angle, given the weather, given the domination the Eagles had over the Commanders in both the games, the scoreline doesn't tell the difference. I'm going under. What a surprise.
I'm going over. Again, I think it's with this Commanders defense and the ability that Kingsbury and Quinn backs against the wall, push down the field, try to score this. I think it's going to go over the 47.5. Plus, Saquon could just have a quick 80-yard touchdown, take 30 seconds off the clock, and boom.
Kneel at the wall.
Yeah, true.
Maybe. He's smart enough to do it.
He is smart. Okay, spread. How we feeling? Where are we leaning?
I'm going the same thing. Eagles -6. I had a little bit higher than the line is now.
Wow.
And I think it's, I didn't even think about the Lions curse. With the Lions curse on top of that, I think it's just, the Commanders have like an absolute ridiculous fourth down conversion rate this year.
Yeah.
I think it's 20% over what everybody was complaining about last year with the tush push with the Eagles, because it was basically it starts out 1st and 8. And so there's a lot of luck on the Commander side that's been going thus far. I'm not going to discredit that they've been great, because they have been. But yeah, I think that Eagles should cover this, no problem.
Yeah, I made the line 6, exactly what the line is now. I can't see any different just looking at the form from the previous 2 games. The Detroit angle, the cold weather, you're in Philadelphia. They've been there, they've done it. I just think it becomes too much. I think Eagles cover the 6 easily.
All right, and I'm not even going to ask you where you're leaning for winner, because we both know you're leaning Eagles. So let's move on to the AFC. We have the Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs for the 4th time in 5 years. Josh Allen and the Bills will get to go through Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in the NFL playoffs. Mahomes is 3-0 in his previous postseason meetings. However, the Bills handed the Chiefs their first loss of the regular season, and realistically their only loss that wasn't backups playing. What do you guys think about this matchup?
It's here we are again, Bills and Chiefs in the playoffs. And we know that the Bills tend to falter in these games. I mean, I keep seeing that preview game of the last 2 minutes where just
25 points.
Score back and forth, and just Bills could not get it done. Do I think this year is a little bit different? Yes, and here's the factor. I think Josh Allen has been much smarter with the football this year than we've seen in years past. And that's really what he needed to improve on, was because he was just making careless mistake after careless mistake. And we've seen how careless mistakes have gone thus far in the playoffs. So I think that's a little bit of a difference here. So I am leaning the Bills here, but it's hard to bet against the Chiefs in this spot, because they just don't make mistakes. Their defense is absolutely solid. Mahomes is trying to get penalties out there. This is a whole bundle that it's hard to go against the Chiefs, but it should be a very good game and another classic probably.
You think he knows what he's doing?
Yeah, I think it's it's a smart play, because the refs do call it.
Yeah,
there's playing the game within the game, and that's what the greats do. We've seen it in basketball. We saw it in college football when Dan Lanning had that certain thing at the end of the Ohio State game. I can't exactly, but there's Belichick. Belichick was the king of that, of finding the little loopholes in the rules.
Yeah.
And if the refs are going to call it, then of course, Mahomes is going to try.
They're going to take advantage. Craig?
Well, if I'm the head coach of the opposing team and the quarterback tries to do that, that'll be the last time they do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just give
I'm
it
screaming at the TV. I know, same.
Cam Newton perfected it. He'd
yeah.
dance down the sideline, step out, get a hit, get 15 yards. It's a quarterback league. You protect the quarterbacks. But when you're pulling that, I think one day somebody's going to say, go out and get him. Take the 15 yards. We'll pay the penalty.
Yeah.
Round 4 of Mahomes versus Allen. Feels like 24 degrees, so it's going to be cold. No wind. A little bit of chance of rain, but minimal. I was actually having dinner with the NFL on that game when they scored the 25 points in the last 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is crazy. It was nuts. Like everybody, we were in like a room at Capitol Grill, and like all the waiters were stood watching it because he put the game on for us. So it was good. But crazy.
Crazy.
But you don't give Patrick Mahomes 13 seconds.
Right. I agree.
That's it. You scored too quick.
All right. Where are you guys leaning for first touchdown score for this game?
I'm going to go with the man, the myth, the legend, Josh Allen. He's going to run it more in these playoff games. We've seen it. He's going to, if he doesn't see someone down the field, especially with his defense, he's going to try to get on the ground and get some runs in. I think he's going to run it in for the first touchdown.
Josh Allen, 5 of the Bills' first touchdowns this year. James Cook, 7 of them. Ray Davis, 3 of them, who's an 18-1 shot. But Cook and Allen are far too short. 4 of Xavier Worthy's 6 touchdowns this year were first for the Chiefs. He's 10-1. I can't bet a favourite, so I'll give me Xavier Worthy.
All right, favorite player prop.
Like Josh Allen over rushing yards. Again, I think he keeps this ball, puts it in his own hands. they're gonna, he wants to get involved, and this Chiefs secondary is really good, so there's not going to be a lot of openings. What's he going to do? He's going to go outside the pocket and make some runs, and he doesn't get sacked very often. So,
I actually like two, and they're both related, and one's related to Joey's. Mahomes over 4.5 rushing attempts. He's eclipsed that every playoff game versus the Bills. And Allen over 9.5 rushing attempts.
Yeah.
All right. Where are you leaning for the over/under?
We'll go under on this one, under
Yeah.
47.5. I think just with how these Chiefs play, the offense hasn't been super impressive. The defense has. So I think it's going to be the one Chiefs-Bills game that's going to remain under.
Given the history, I can't see this going under at all.
Wow.
The Bills averaged 31 points per game this year. You're 16 away. The Chiefs probably should score 16. So if history repeats itself, give me the over. I can't see this going under.
Right. I don't know where the spread's at right now, but how are we feeling about the spread?
Mathematically, I'm just going to go with how my ratings say it, and there's value in the Bills. There's intangibles with these Chiefs because they don't make mistakes and they just find ways to win games. But I can't do that there here. I'm going to go Bills +2.
Yeah, I made the Bills favorite on my numbers. We're at 2 because we took $1.3 million on the Chiefs the other night.
Right.
So liability dictates your move sometimes. So, yeah, give me the Bills based on the value. I agree with Joey. They're the better team. That's why we make them favorite.
So you're both leaning Bills.
Yeah, but it's tough to go.
So scared against the Chiefs.
So you know that in any moment the Chiefs could
they'll figure it out.
completely take control, per usual. All right. Well, let's get into our game picks. Me and Joey are currently tied, but on a historically unfortunate run the past couple of weeks. And Craig, you actually have a chance to come back and pull off the upset. The upset king himself has the opportunity to pull an upset himself.
You two haven't picked a winner in a year.
It's true.
It is true.
This year. Not a year. Let's be
Push
correct
game
here.
too, which hurt even more.
Yeah.
In 2025, you two are 0-4, whatever.
Honestly, 2025 hasn't been my year, but I'm
Clearly.
feeling good about this
Joe
week.
and 8.
So
Yeah.
I will start us off
Okay.
because I don't think I have in a while. And Craig loves to say that I'm copying him, so
How was that Notre Dame under?
we'll see. Yeah. Thanks for that,
Yeah,
if I
you're
was
welcome.
copying.
So excited to see
Okay.
that go over.
I am going to go, I'm fading both of you, by the way, and I'm doing Washington to cover +6. Is that still accurate, Joey?
You can have that.
Yes, yep, that's good.
Okay, I'm taking that. And then I am going Bills +2.
Bills +2. Okay. I'm going Eagles -6 and Chiefs -2 because I'm trying to avoid a
There was no
divorce with my
collusion
wife
here.
if I had to pay for a Craig dinner.
Yeah.
As the great Eric Fenster once said, I've starved myself all day for this. I'm sticking with the formula. Washington Commanders under the team total 21.5. Bills over the team total 24.
I like that. Team
All right,
totals.
interesting. Team totals.
Solid.
For sure. Okay, guys, is there anything else you'd like to say before we end this week's episode?
Good luck. We're almost to the Super Bowl. Best
Crazy
time of
2
the
weeks
year.
coming for us.
Yeah.
It's only going to get better. They're already talking about adding another game for regular season, maybe 2 buys. We're going to have a President's Day weekend Super Bowl, so things are looking up for football.
Can't get enough of those football games. Get your bets in while you can. There's only 3 more games left. So, all right, bye.